Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. We're gonna be checking out one on here. This is about the original voice actor of Goku. Uh, oh wow, Misaku. Um, I guess this has got some backstory about her history. I'm not familiar with it myself. I thought it was going to be interesting just because it's Goku. So yeah, figure we'd watch it together.
The Dragon Ball franchise wouldn't be the same without its lead voice actress, Masako Nozawa. There was a reason why the late author Akira Toriyama chose her as the voice of Goku. Her take on the character has made a
It's Goku.
long-lasting impression on Japan for more than 30 years now. But despite being the voice of a worldwide icon, we know very little about her. Today I want to change that. We are going to take a look at how she grew
Appreciate
up
that.
wanting to play a princess, but fate wanted her to play Goku. Nozawa was born on October 25,
That's an
1936,
awesome picture.
in a place called Nippori, located in Arakawa, Tokyo. She lived in a family of artisans who each wanted
I'm sorry, I missed the city.
Tokyo. She lived in a family of artisans who each
Oh, you man! Hey, y'all know I do the everything. It's worth going back to see that picture.
October 25, 1936, in a place called Nippori, located in Arakawa, Tokyo. She lived in a family of artisans who each wanted different things for her. She lived in a household of four, with her dad and mom, Ryoshu and Tsuru Nozawa, and her aunts, Kiyono Sasaki. And from time to time, her biological mother would come and help take care of the young Nozawa. Nozawa and her mother, Tsuru, aren't blood related. Her mother suffered a miscarriage in her first marriage, and learned she could not have children. When she remarried Nozawa's father, she didn't want the Nozawa bloodline to come to an end, so she encouraged him to have a child with another woman. She didn't know that she and her mother weren't blood related.
Hey, that respect to keep the bloodline going.
Her mother suffered a miscarriage in her first marriage, and learned she could not have children. When she remarried Nozawa's father, she didn't want the Nozawa bloodline to come to an end, so she encouraged him to have a child with another woman. She didn't know that she and her mother weren't blood related, which shocked her when she first learned about it in high school, but that didn't change the loving relationship the two had. Her aunt, Kiyono Sasaki, was an actress for Shochiku, a film company in Japan that had its start in kabuki theater, and eventually did movies. She wanted Nozawa to follow in her footsteps, and had Nozawa debut as an actress at the age of 3. Her father Ryoshu, on the other hand, was a
At
painter,
3?
a very famous painter at the time I should say, and had Nozawa learn how to play Japanese instruments, such as the shamisen. He was okay with her being an actress, however, he only allowed it during school holidays so she could still get an education. And how did Nozawa
That's right, though. Education first. That's right. He's not wrong about that. In hindsight, that's Goku, though.
such as the shamisen. He was okay with her being an actress, however, he only allowed it during school holidays so she could still get an education. And how did Nozawa feel about acting? Well, at first, she hated it. She didn't even know she was working, or even comprehended what it meant to work for a living. It wasn't until the first grade when she
didn't know that she was working. If he doesn't explain that, I might need somebody to try to, I don't know, put that in more layman terms.
she was working, or even comprehended what it meant to work for a living. It wasn't until the first grade when she realized, hey, acting isn't so bad, after performing in front of her school at a school arts festival and receiving an applause from the audience. The first role Nozawa could remember was in an elementary school play titled Umihiko Yamahiko, where she played a male character. She always wanted to play a princess, but for some reason, she was often cast as a prince or another male character. She thought it was her voice, and so she grew up hating how she sounded when she talked, and she wished it was more princess-like. Her acting came to a temporary stop because of World War II. Her father moved the family to Tone District, now known as Numata, in Gunma Prefecture, in order to escape the air raids. Here, Nozawa spent the rest of her school days until she graduated high school. Gunma is located outside of Tokyo and is one of the landlocked prefectures in Japan. It had its own culture and dialect, different from the
I wish we had a better history together, yo. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't nowhere near around or anything, and I'm sure most isn't. But yeah.
in Gunma Prefecture in order to escape the air raids. Here, Nozawa spent the rest of her school days until she graduated high school. Gunma is located outside of Tokyo and is one of the landlocked prefectures in Japan. It had its own culture and dialect, different from the capital of Japan, which provided a lot of first experiences for Nozawa. However, despite joining many clubs, Nozawa's mind was still set on becoming an actress.
So different dialects. So they got different dialects in Japanese as in Mandarin? Or not as many, I'm saying, but like different ones I get? Didn't know that.
She wanted to perform in stage theater instead of in films, which upset her aunt, because according to her, performing in theater will not earn you a lot of money. Her aunt wanted her to become a television and film actress and follow in her footsteps. But when Nozawa entered high school, her aunt gave up and introduced
It didn't sound like she wanted it. She wasn't in it for the money anyway, it don't sound like. She wanted just something to do, from what it's seeming.
Her aunt wanted her to become a television and film actress and follow in her footsteps. But when Nozawa entered high school, her aunt gave up and introduced Nozawa to a producer at NHK, who then introduced her to a theater group which she had to attend in secret because her father wanted her to focus on her studies. This theater group was called Toge, and her first play as a stage actress was in an adaptation of Kazuo Kikuda's book, The Abortion Doctor, where she played an 80-year-old assistant to the lead actress.
The first movie?
Her father wanted her to focus on her studies. This theater group was called Toge, and her first play as a stage actress was in an adaptation of Kazuo Kikuda's book, The Abortion Doctor, where she played an 80-year-old assistant to the lead actress, who was played by Kazuko Hata, someone older than her. She did have a problem with the fact that she, a high schooler, was cast as an 80-year-old woman, while her co-star, someone older than Nozawa, played a 23-year-old character. When she voiced her concern, she received a very kind reply from her co-star. That's true, Mako. That would make a lot of sense, but listen, I'm only able to play these kinds of roles while you, Mako, are able to play both. And after this first play, Nozawa received an award from her theater company. She juggled school with her work at Toge, oftentimes working behind the scenes on props and sound effects, instead of performing on stage where rehearsals would take her away from schoolwork. Upon graduation, she moved to Tokyo where she committed herself to stage. Her father wanted her to continue her education, but Nozawa decided to dedicate her college years to the theater department. Here she would eventually stumble upon a new form of entertainment, different from acting on stage, TV, and on film. So one day, Nozawa was asked to help the company financially by taking on some kind of role that her managers felt best suited her. The thing is, she didn't know what kind of role she would be.
I have no reason to think that this is not the original video from her, like, actual video of her. This is cool if it is. And I'll just say it. Y'all know I'm honest. I'm going to download this video just to have this done. Hey, y'all know they fixing to start messing up the web archive. So if there's anything on the internet that's old and stuff that you want to keep, you might want to go download it. And I'm not talking about illegal stuff, even like legal stuff, books and stuff back in the day, games, all kind of stuff.
Auditioning for. Upon arrival, she learned that she'd be a part of a voice cast for a Western film. Back in those days, a lot of people who went to go see Western films were an older audience who struggled reading subtitles, so their preferred method of consuming these movies were through dubs. But these dubs weren't recorded, but rather performed live. While the movie was playing, the voice casts were expected to read their script aloud. Nozawa doesn't remember the name of the movie she dubbed, but she does remember that she was cast as the voice of a young male character. Why do I have to voice a boy? I'm a woman, she complained. The production staff felt that an adult male's voice was too deep, so they wanted to cast an actress for the part of a young male. Nozawa was pretty upset about this, but deep down she wanted to help her company, so she accepted the part. She became more involved with dubbing of Western films, continually getting cast in the roles of young men.
They did that on spot? That is insane. I don't think anybody watching this video could not think that that's just so impressive. That's for real.
Character. Why do I have to voice a boy? I'm a woman, she complained. The production staff felt that an adult male's voice was too deep, so they wanted to cast an actress for the part of a young male. Nozawa was pretty upset about this, but deep down she wanted to help her company, so she accepted.
Isn't Japanese normally sounding like already deepish for males? Like, don't they talk like deep normally anyway. So that does make sense. Unless I'm just being a total freaking idiot.
Accepted the part, she became more involved with dubbing of Western films, continually getting cast in the roles of young men. She became so consumed with dubbing films that she didn't have time to continue any work as a stage actress. In 1963, the godfather of manga, Osamu Tezuka, made one of his dreams come true by turning his manga Astro Boy into an animated television program. Nozawa was part of that production and voiced some of the background characters, and here is when she entered the world of anime. For the next 5 years, she received many roles, some lead roles, and many small roles, and the majority of them were male characters. Despite being a regular in some of these productions, she still considered voice acting as just a part-time job to support herself and her company. She also found voice acting frustrating at times, because back then, if you messed up a line, you wouldn't be able to preserve the parts that were fine, and instead, you'd have to record everything from the beginning. And despite these struggles, sometime into her career, she came to love voice acting. In 1968, she landed a major role as lead in the first anime adaptation of Gegege no Kitaro, and once again a few years later, as Tetsuro and Galaxy Express 39. Her voice acting being recognized by the original authors of both series respectively, she became even more.
I do not know either one of those.
She landed a major role as lead in the first anime adaptation of Gegege no Kitaro, and once again a few years later, as Tetsuro and Galaxy Express 39. Her voice acting being recognized by the original authors of both series respectively, she became even more dedicated to the craft, never letting herself miss a day of work. In fact, she's so dedicated.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, hold on, where's it? Let's see.
Never letting herself miss a day.
Anybody that watched Dragon Ball, y'all, that looks like Frieza in Hilf.
Of work. In fact, she's so dedicated. One time, during the production of Tiger Mask, her neighbor's apartment caught on fire, which eventually spread to her place. Instead of calling out from work, she asked to borrow some of her friend's clothes and went straight to work. She didn't even let her coworkers know. And I could go on, but I think it's time to talk about.
Hold up, she is Goku. For real? I wonder, is he gaslighting?
From work, she asked to borrow some of her friend's clothes and went straight to work. She didn't even let her coworkers know. And I could go on, but I think it's time to talk about Dragon Ball. The 1980s saw anime take on a new life. Anime production based on Jump manga began to dominate the television screen. Martial arts blended with theatrics, finishing moves, rivalries turned to friendship. Such themes were popular with the audience. And
not long after that, it changed to, well, Dragon Ball Z. I think it. Honestly, when it come over here, I think that's when it really got to be where it was about, like, the big power-ups and stuff like that.
Moves, rivalries turned to friendship. Such themes were popular with the audience, and Nozawa soon became a part of one of these productions in a series that would change her life forever, or should I say, her performance would shape the character forever. That character is of course Son Goku. Akira Toriyama has stated that he can't imagine anyone else playing Goku. In fact, one of his first reactions to hearing Nozawa was, "So this is what Goku sounds like." And that's not all.
That's so cool! Yo, that's... I wonder if that's true. That's true.
Has stated that he can't imagine anyone else playing Goku. In fact, one of his first reactions to hearing Nozawa was, "So this is what Goku sounds like." And that's not all. She made up her own dialect for the character. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically, when you read the Dragon Ball manga in Japanese, there's nothing out of the ordinary about the way Goku speaks, other than the fact that he pronounces his first person and second pronouns differently. But when Nozawa took on the role, she began to add what you would describe as a dialect. She would pronounce words differently in a way that's not unique to any dialect in Japan. Many try to speculate what the base of the dialect is. Many agree that it sounds like a dialect from the countryside of Japan, but at the same time it's not. But the truth is, it's completely made up, all Nozawa. When manga-only readers watched the anime, many were surprised to hear such a dialect coming from Goku. It's so unique sounding that it's been officially dubbed Goku Go, or the Goku language. You know that catchphrase sounding greeting Goku is always saying? Nozawa was actually the one who made that up during a recording session, and it became his official catchphrase moving forward. As the story progressed and as Goku got older, Nozawa changed her voice a bit to match Goku's age, going for a more deeper and serious tone while maintaining his childlike innocence. Not only that, she also went on to voice Goku's two
Yeah.
sons, Gohan and Goten, as well as his father Bardock, changing her voice up to match the tone of their characters. And because of the Dragon Ball franchise's popularity, Nozawa would voice Goku and his family for more than 10 years, and even returned for other related media like video games, earning 2 Guinness World Records for longest video game voice acting career, and voice actor who voiced the same character in a video game for the longest period. Whenever there's Goku,
Whoa. That is some huge achievements right there, y'all. Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
and voice
Wow.
actor who voiced the same character in a video game for the longest period. Whenever there's Goku, there's Nozawa. Nozawa entered the voice acting world in her 20s, while still aiming to become a stage actress. But voice acting became such a fun experience for her that she decided to dedicate her life to the art. She got cast as Son Goku when she was around her 50s, and continues to keep the spirit of Dragon Ball alive into her 80s. When Akira Toriyama passed away in 2024, Nozawa shared this with the world. Whenever I would see Akira Toriyama sensei, he would tell me, take care of Goku. When I think about those words, I gain the strength to hold Goku on my side until my time runs out.
Hey, that's cool, man. She is Goku, so. Wow. I didn't know that she had the world records, especially so many. So she's not just one of the greatest because she's Goku. She's one of the greatest just flat out because she's the greatest. Wow. Yeah, he may not have been telling us everything from the sounds of it. Like, it sounds like she has a lot. Man, she accomplished a lot. Much respect. Hey, y'all, much love and respect. I'll catch y'all on the next one.